They say that breaking up is hard to do.
Hi there, Carrie Palmer. This is unusual. I haven't made a video in quite some time, and so I made a big old video yesterday, and then I'm making another video today. And if you know me, you know that I don't choose this. Yep, I'm just told what to do. Somebody very close to me recently has had a breakup, and it is so funny to me. People come to me from all over the world. I mean, I get contacted from people all over the globe for things that are like, how do you handle death or, really big things? And also, how do you deal with a breakup? When you're really close to somebody, they don't think you know anything. So I'm going to just do a video for you because you've gone through breakups. We've all gone through breakups and we know how they feel. But I want to tell you what they are, how they happen, and why they're so miserable. Okay, I'm going to start. My second book is the story about Alden. I met Alden when I flew to Sedona. He was my miracle. He's my second book. So I met this man and we're sitting talking for about 3 hours. We never so much just touched fingertips or anything. I got his email address before he left and that was it. But so while we were talking and I heard this man talk, his words were just like butter. It was like eloquence. I can't even describe it. It was just like no man has ever, I've never heard anybody speak like this, to where everything he said was about others and there was not an ounce of ego. So it was a great conversation and I don't go anywhere in my head. I was married at the time and I'm just like, I'm just talking to this man that I just met. Fast forward, I go home. He goes home a few days later. I have a vision and a song comes through me telling me that he is supposed to be in your life in a huge way. So where do we go? Where do we go, people? All of us. When there's somebody that you talk to that have this lovely language, you have this vision, this song comes through you, you see that you've been in a zillion lives together. I had a visual that we've been in so many lives together. Immediately, romance, we go to love. It's so natural. It's when we have an attraction to another human, we feel attraction. The first thing we think is, oh my God, they're my person. They're my soulmate. This is the first place. This is about breakups, but first it's about getting together for the right reasons. So Alvin and I met and we immediately went to love. We were running away together. He was flying to Seattle. We were going to go away together. I just met the man, but I knew he was my eternity. It turns out, fast forward, the book is amazing, but he only lived 7 weeks, 5 days after we met. And we were not supposed to be together romantically in this lifetime. We were not. We saw each other. The attraction was so undeniable. We were just going to jump together and lock lips and just stay together forever. But that was not why we were together. When you come together with somebody, when you feel a connection to somebody, and it's not always the same sex or opposite sex. There was once in high school, I went to cheerleading camp and there was a girl that I saw there. And I was like, I was so drawn to her. And I thought, oh, what's wrong with me? Her and I had a connection. I couldn't have known that then. I was so drawn to her. I never went near her because I figured, oh my God, do I like a girl? It's like, it's just not who I was. But it wasn't that. I was supposed to talk to her. We were supposed to have a conversation because something magnificent would have grown for that. So anytime you feel an attraction towards another human being, you feel drawn to them, try to think and talk to them too. Just say, let's see what this is. Let's not jump to romance, because when you jump to romance, you don't necessarily find out what the gift is you brought for each other. So Alden came into my life because he had to meet me before he died. That was the last thing he had to do. And I have had conversations with him via other people since he has died, so I know everything. He had to go to heaven and then he had to come down and help me write my book. But the thing he had to do before he died was to meet me. So we met in Sedona for a minute. We were together on the phone and in love for 7.5 weeks. And then he disappeared. But he had to meet me because meeting me opened my connection to divine. I didn't know what gift he had for me. And now he comes through me in my writing. And I know because as I'm writing, words will come through me. I'm like, what the heck is that? And I'll have to go Google it. And I'm like, oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. So you never know why you meet someone. Don't jump to attraction first. Never jump to attraction for romance. Never think it's romance. let that happen organically because there's so much more. So this couple that just broke up that I'm very close to, they have been together for 6 years. And when they got together, you couldn't know, they were young, but they got together, and from my lens, I could see it all. They both had a gift for each other. They gave each other so much. They needed each other in their lives. And yes, this was romantic. They came together. One of them, I love them both. They're just like the most amazing little units. One of them is so strong and totally reminds me of me, but she's so much more advanced than I was at her age. So she is going to do amazing things. She helped this other person by being there and helping them become who they are. The encouragement from this made this person be who they are. They had a contract. We all have contracts when we come here. That was all they had to do with each other. They helped each other. We helped her. We helped them. They came and they fulfilled their contract. And then this is where life happens, people. This is where you're done. They were done. They've been done. Who knows how long they've been done, but you're in a comfort zone. And this is where most of you are stuck. You are somewhere where the relationship has been for a long time. You're there, you tolerate each other, you pass in the hall. Sometimes you flip each other off. Sometimes you say goodnight. But you're there because the option is daunting. If you're together in a relationship and it's time to be done, somebody has to leave. Plans. I mean, there's a lot to it. You have to split finances. There's so much. And so we stay lazy. We stay in our comfort zone. So the reason I'm doing these videos, the reason I wrote the books is because I went through all of these things that y'all are going through, but I went through it and it took me forever. When I left my first husband, I had to leave him. He crossed that line in the sand and I knew I had to leave. The moment he said the words, "You do this again, we're getting a divorce," that was my line in the sand. The next time he threatened me with divorce, I was leaving. The second the word came out of his mouth, and this is what I need you to hear. I made the promise to myself the next time he said divorce, I was leaving. So I knew, my soul knew when that happened, it was going to take this body and out the door we were going to go. My soul made an agreement with God, with whatever. So the moment the words, "the next time you do that, we're getting a divorce," came out, the second the word "duh" started coming, I literally felt angel wings wrap around me completely and lift me and elevate me. And I felt bliss. I knew I was gone at the moment I was standing in front of him and he was threatening me. I no longer felt afraid of him. This is another video altogether. When you make yourself a promise, I don't want to go off on a tangent here, but this is so important. When you make yourself a promise, your line in the sand, when they cross it and you know it's that thing that's going to scare you to death, like, I've got to leave this man now. This is where I want you to realize, when you make the promise to yourself, when the line in the sand is crossed, when they say that thing that's going to just, you think, "Oh no, now I've got to take action." It is done. It's done for you. You already did the work. Once they say the word divorce, you're already gone. And that's when the angel rings wrap around you. But you've got to have the strength to say to yourself, "This is my line in the sand." And then I promise you, when that moment comes and that line is going to be crossed, you don't have to do the hard work. It's done for you. I promise you. And I would love people who experience this to put in the comments how this worked for you, because people need to hear you have to strap on the man balls. I have bigger man balls than any man I know. You have to strap them on and you have to do that thing that makes you uncomfortable. And once you do, you will be floating. It's like you jumped off a cliff and you're landing in somewhere so much more magnificent, but you've got to cross that line in the sand. And so actually this all does tie in your comfort zone. You're in a relationship that is done, but you stay together, you tolerate each other. But when it's done and then you just start like going your own way, nitpicking at things, whatever, it's like, you know what you have to do. You both know in your gut that you feel icky. People are starting to get sick. Things are going wrong. That's when it's time. And this is where the breakup happens. All right. this is where the breakup is, and this is where it's critical. In this case, and these people I know, when they first told me about the breakup, the words that came out, and this was magnificent, were so and so cheated on me. I immediately went, oh, you're playing a victim. How nice is that? Do you see what I'm saying here? And then the whole story came out. It turned out the person who cheated was actually caught writing in a journal. They were caught journaling. And then the other person said, what are you journaling about? Knowing full well, this can be opening up a can of whoop ass. And it did. And yes, there was another person involved. That was just a symptom. The relationship had been done. They both knew it. They were staying together. It was just, they both had so much opportunity and potential, but they were like at this place to where it was like flatline. It was like very young and like, what's left for us? So one of them made a move. The one who is super strong that I'm so proud of, because somebody had to make a move. So by making that move, by being caught journaling, said, yes, I was with somebody else. That doesn't change anything. You had a 6-year love together. That is the foundation. The somebody else, I used to think my line in the sand was when a man cheated on me. And then I went back and I wondered, where did I ever get that from? Somebody must have told me at some point, if somebody cheats on you, that is your line on the sand, in the sand. And I actually carried that with me into my marriage. And I said, you will never lay a hand on me, because I was abused constantly as a child. And I also said, you'll never cheat on me. But he was the one thinking I was going to cheat on him. But I was like, I look back, I'm like, why did I ever think about that or care about that? So if somebody cheated on me, I was leaving. I honestly don't know where I got that belief, but I had it. And that would not have been the case, because when somebody cheats on somebody, it's just a symptom. The problems are there. You already have all these problems. This is going to be a little bit woo-woo, but you need to pay attention. I'm going to explain to you why you're in a relationship, how you came together, and what you need to do next. Before you came into this lifetime, you and every single human being that you have met along the way, especially anybody you bumped into that has given you a book, a gift, ran into you in your car, and then all of a sudden you found out your high school sweethearts, whatever. All of these people that you run into who give you nudges throughout your life and make your life change in different ways, you meet with them in your stadium, big old stadium before you're born, and you all decide all the roles you're going to play and what you're going to do. So these two people who just broke up, they made the agreement that they would become partners at a very young age. And they would, this one is going to be hating change and it's going to not like adjustments. And this one is going to be strong and help. So they had this plan. I'm going to do this for you. This is the gift I'll give you. This is the gift you'll give me. And then we're going to be done. Our contract will be over. But then we have to find it in our guts to end it and try to do it lovingly. That's the fun part, because humans, you don't want to do anything lovingly. You want to get violent and evil because everybody done everybody wrong. No, you just fulfilled your contract. That's all you did. So these two people came together, they had an agreement, and then they did what they did. And then they kept staying together because it was convenient and comfortable. It's like, it was a comfortable lifestyle. But when it's over, we get these feelings, this icky, and what it is, you have all your chakras, your energy centers coming up and down you. They're all around you. You are all around you. And when you know you're done, it's like your road is getting bumpy. It starts feeling icky, but it's comfortable. So you stay. Meanwhile, you have these things pulling at you. And I know the one here has had much more pulling than this one, because this one had kind of a comfortable lifestyle. But so you have these things pulling at you that you need to be doing. It's because you met with other people in your pre-life planning and you had other agreements to get to. And so you need to, when the relationship you're in, for either one of you, when it starts just feeling icky, and whatever the relationship is, business, romance, whatever, you're in contracts with people. And when they no longer feel good, that's when you cut tail. And I took 5.5 years to mourn the loss of the man that I left in Ohio, the one that I got lifted with angel wings and I got placed on my new planet. Yeah, 5.5 years. I moved a lot. I cried constantly. I prayed. I didn't know there was a God. I was like, I just wanted him to come back and rescue me and take me home because that was my comfort zone. That was all I knew. I needed to be back with him because I didn't know how to be alone. I didn't know how to do anything on my own. 5.5 years, guys. And now I'm here to tell you it was a story that you agreed to. And this is where I want you to walk away from relationships lovingly because you came together with a contract to get together to fulfill X. And it's over. Once you fulfilled X, everything gets bumpy and you're both uneasy, but you're not going to be honest. You're not going to talk about it. So I'm making this video so you can have ways to maybe watch this video with your partner and say, let's talk about things that we really don't talk about. Like there's one story in my book that I shared. It was like some neighbors that I had in Oregon. And one of them told me how it was the craziest story, but this is who you guys are. So one of the partners, and I have a long conversation one day, and before she leaves, she happens to mention that I have to go to the movies again because I found out that I'm not allergic to corn. And that was her excuse for not going to the movies. And then she found out she's not allergic, so now she has to go to the movies. And I'm like, why don't you just tell your partner you don't like movies? And so I actually wrote that chapter. And before I moved from where I was, this neighbor kind of gave me a little bit of hell. Well, not really. She stopped the sale of my house a long time earlier, but she had to. That was our agreement because I wasn't supposed to move. But anyway, I sent her this chapter and I said, everybody's going to know this is you and your partner because I wrote it while I was here because you didn't let my house sell. So something as simple as popcorn. Why can't you tell your partner, I like popcorn, I don't like movies? Then the partner goes to the movies. Guys, we are not here to become pretzels. We are here as individuals, and we're here to do our own journey. And if one of you likes movies, the other one doesn't, simple answer. One goes, the other does what they like to do. So this couple, I'm going to keep coming back to them because they came together, they stayed together. It was done. It was done a long, long time ago. So now what I'm saying to them is rather than throwing stones, look at each other and say, thank you. We had an amazing time. We learned so much from each other, and they did. And let's make this amicable. Let's say, how do we do this simply? And remember, all the other stuff is just stuff. It's just stuff. When you come together with stuff, it's just stuff. Take your love with you. Take the connection that you made. And I mean, I could see these two being the best allies and friends for the rest of their life. And who knows, down the road, you never know what's going to happen. But they came together, they had an agreement, and then it's over. And so I'm going to attach in the comments here in my information a YouTube video you really need to listen to. It's a parable by Lee Carroll. Did it. He channels Cryon. And it's the most wonderful parable about your entire life cycle. But it talks in there about when you get to the red house. And when you get to the red house, how the people that you've met, your parents that died, your girlfriend that broke your heart, all these things that happened to you, how you planned it, how you needed it to happen because that experience got you ready for the next experience. And so when you get to the point to where you feel icky, you have got to end where you are, because now you're just getting sicky from the icky and you just fall apart and you get cancer and diabetes and all that crap. If you just follow the icky and say, okay, I'm icky right now. Let's go our separate ways, business, whatever it is. And let me see what I'm supposed to feel. Get away. And then I promise you, when you take that leap, just say, I need that space, but you're honest. You're telling that person, we need to get away because there's something gnawing at me. And there's something gnawing at them too. You step away and then your arrow gets calibrated. Suddenly you're on track and you see the way. You know your next step, but you can't find it when you're in the middle of the relationship that was supposed to be over. You agreed to it. It's had its contract term. Maybe you stayed 3 years too long. It doesn't matter. It's over. Let's end it now. And what I need for you to do, and this is something I'm telling you to do because this will change your life. And I don't care. This is going to change your life if you follow this one tiny little bit of advice. And if you don't want to walk out on your partner, your relationship, I'm going to tell you just do this. and stay there for now, and you're going to change your life. And it's going to get you strong enough to where you will know what you need to do. Trust that this person that you're with, whether you're feeling icky about them or whatever, they came to you as a gift. They brought you a gift and you gave them a gift. You came together for a very important reason. You don't necessarily need to know what that is yet. It will come clear one day. Find the gratitude. When you step into, they cheated on me, you're waving a victim card. My sister waved her victim card until she died in 2020. Oh my God, was she a card carrying victim? Woe is me. Everything happened to her and everybody was to blame. The first moment when I heard that person say they cheated on me, I was like, you need to change your language right now. You're hurting the other person when they did nothing to you. You guys fell apart. You caught them journaling. That's what you tell people. You caught them journaling and you had conversations. So find the gratitude. Know that you came together, you had a plan. Do not look at them with hate or disgust because you had an agreement. You agreed to come together for this. Bless them. Send them love. Send love. When you do this, even in the smallest amount, you're going to feel yourself becoming like the Grinch at the end of the cartoon where his heart pumps up, 10 times bigger. If you don't look at them with vile, angry, just disgust, if you look at them and think, I love you. I love you and I love what you brought to me. You gave me a gift. Bless you. And now I'm going to move on. And this is where people, if you see my life now, I have manifested the most beautiful world you can possibly imagine. I'm in the perfect home, in the perfect place. And I don't think I can't even fathom how happy I am because it's beyond anything I can comprehend. I created this reality because when my stories were done, I had to acknowledge they were done. Oh, I drug my feet. I did. And that's why I'm doing this for you. You don't have to choose to stay stuck. You can choose. It's all your choice. You could choose to move on because when you make that decision to let go of that thing that is holding you back, when you agree to it in your soul, visualize this, please. You're standing on the edge of an airplane. You're getting ready to jump. What is that feeling you have? You've never done it before. You need a freaking diaper. I know. You're scared to death. But the moment you take that leap, the second you know you're airborne, what is that replaced with? Exhilaration, thrill. And that is what you're going to find. When you say to your partner, to your business, it's over, we got to stop this and find out what's next for us. I promise you, I stake my life on it, that you're going to open your parachute and you're going to be flying through the sky and you're going to land somewhere and you're going to think, oh my God, why did I wait so long?
They say that breaking up is hard to do. Now I know that it's true.